Hey everybody, it's Keith Couch with Rocky Mountain Peterbilt's Rush Truck Center here in Greeley, Colorado. Got a follow-up video to do on a 1981 Peterbilt 359 extended hood with a flat top. If you guys or some people saw the previous video to this, and that was literally after Doug had bought the truck. So got the owner here with me today. If you guys have seen Scotty D TV on YouTube, we're going to kind of do it like Scotty does. So we'll just kind of interview Doug. So Doug, tell us a little bit about this truck and where you got it.
Well, hi everybody. My name's Doug Graham. This is my 81 359. I was going to clear up some stuff from the previous video on it. The last video you saw, this truck had just come out of 13 years of storage. It had not been run. We didn't even drive it home. We had to haul it home. And when you saw the last video, that was the first time the truck had been driven. It was driven from my house up here to Peterbilt to have Doug Schaefer back here in the shop do a little bit of work on it. And as you can see, we've done some work to it. So this is a one owner, original owner truck. I bought it from the original owner. It was sold new in Salt Lake City. It was a heavy haul truck, and it is all heavy spec underneath, or at least it was when I got it. The truck weighed 24,000 pounds with no fuel in it when I got it. I flatbed with it now, so we had to put it on a diet. No. As you can see, we got the quad round headlights on it that are supposed to be on it. The truck originally had the quad square ones on it, not the 379 ones that were in the original video. I do have the original headlights to it. They're at home in my stock, along with many other things. And we added some grill bars. That bumper is over 30 years old. That says a lot that a bumper made it on a truck for 30 years. And, well, it's sitting on all Michelin rubber now, all new Alcoa wheels. This is the original front axle and front hub. Keith, I don't know if you can get in there, but if you can look in the hole, you can see some blue paint on the brake drum.
Yep, you can see it.
Those are the original brake drums that came on the truck. Never been changed. The truck, when I bought it, had just short of 500,000 actual miles on it, and it just now has a little over 600. One of the things we did to it was we did change out the suspension. It had SSHDs, 2-speed, 44,000 pound on air track. It was too heavy. It was more than I needed. And I did change it out to a later model, low leaf, with DS 406s and 370 gearing. The truck has not been painted. It's been touched up here and there. The paint on the truck is approximately 30 years old. It had the original Winslow paint scheme on it. It was white with red and blue stripes, and we fully intend to put that back on it at some time.
Not quite yet.
It's got the notorious four-door, as we called them back in the day. And,
That's kind of nice. I wish they still did that today.
all the upholstery in this is original, and it is immaculate. With the exception, I have changed the carpet, obviously. But I've owned quite a few 359s over the years, and this one by far has one of the nicest interiors in it that I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's blue. This truck does work every day here in Colorado.
Wow.
In the snow, the ice, the muck, the mag chloride, it works every day.
Up there. I want to
Sure.
get a good look at the dash here. Those low back seats.
Those are custom-made Eldorados. My friend up in Canada, where they still make Eldorados, made those for me.
This truck is just beautiful. Absolutely love the dash. And everything works.
Everything works, including those spotlights.
Just a gorgeous interior. And you made this, didn't you?
Yeah, I've.
Little shelf.
I don't like cutting a lot of holes in the upholstery. It's just an easier way to get everything mounted up there.
And you bought something to do the printing on these, didn't you? On the switches?
Well, yeah, it's called a label maker.
Well, wasn't it
No,
make them look?
they're just label makers. Cut down the size. So.
Yeah, just very classic.
So the truck was originally born with a 5 and 4 in it. He blew the 5-speed up at some point, heavy hauling with it, and elected to put a 13-speed back in it. And when I put the truck on a diet, I pulled the 4-speed out of it, trying to lighten the truck up. We did get the truck down to just short of 21,000 now. So.
You turn on. A lot of people don't know you turn on the key, then push the button.
Well, on top of that, Keith, you got to shut it off down here with a manual shut off.
Yep.
This is as old school as it gets. My favorite quote with this truck is the only computer in this truck is my iPhone laying on the seat.
Just beautiful. So let's show them what's under the hood.
All right.
This is on an air shock.
Yes, it is.
I need to find a kit to do that on Sun, as you can see, she's yellow, but it's not your typical yellow cat. Tell us a little bit about this engine, Doug.
So he broke the crank in this engine, which those of you who know your older V8 cats know that they were notorious crank breakers. And they did an out-of-frame major on it. And at the time that they did the out-of-frame, the motor was originally a PC 3408 pre-combustion motor. They changed it to a B. It has a B crank, a B cam, and a B fuel system on it now.
Okay.
And again, a little history. The last 3408 put in a Peterbilt was in 1985. The B model 3408 did not come out until 1987. So there was never a B model put in a truck from the factory. So at the time they put the B crank, B cam, B fuel system in it. It's had C16 pistons cut into it. It's got C18 connecting rods in it. It has marine heads on it and a 3508 turbo on it. It produces approximately 35 pounds of boost on a nice cold, moist day. Most of the time it runs around 29, 30. Runs cool as a cucumber. Nothing runs hot on it. A lot of that is thankful to the 9-row radiator that's in it that holds 28 gallons of water.
Wow.
We know that because we had to do some work on it this past year. But, don't really like to talk too much about horsepower. Don't want to give too many secrets away. But it was originally dynoed on Wagner's dyno, engine dyno, not chassis dyno, at 720. We have since actually turned it down a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit. Runs good. I know nobody will believe me. I'll get my book out if you want to see it, but it gives me a consistent 5.5 to 6 miles a gallon. Very consistent.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, unheard of for a 3408.
3408.
Yeah. This is my third 3408, and I've never had one that did any better than 5 miles a gallon. So, a lot of work been done to it. Everything's been pretty much everything's been touched, upgraded, replaced, whatever. Another neat feature on it, you come on in here, Keith, you can look down here. This motor has upper and lower motor mounts.
Oh, okay.
It has to have them because it kept ripping out of the frame.
Okay. Wow. Get the air ride steer. Well, it's not a full air ride.
It's just kind of helper bags.
Helper bags.
They make a difference. I'm pretty impressed with them, yeah. As you can see, this drag link is all original. You haven't been able to buy those for 20 years now. That is all original stuff. Just one and more of the things contributing to the authenticity of the miles that we believe to be on it. One among several other things we've found on it that just kind of verify she's not a multi-million miler like it should be, you know. No.
Where'd you find the truck at?
Well, the truck was sitting right under everybody's nose down in Denver, Colorado. If you knew where to look when you were driving around 270, you could actually see it sitting under a shed.
That's amazing.
I chased this truck. I've known this truck for over 20 years, and I've known the owner for that long. And I've chased this truck for years and years and years, and really never thought that I'd own it. And back in September of 2017, he called me up out of the clear blue sky and said he was thinking about selling it. And I drove down to talk to him about it and ended up buying it. And here she is. I've been very diligent about keeping it original as I can, with, of course, the exception of the rear suspension. But if it wasn't available back in the early 80s, it's not on the truck. I just don't believe in loading an old girl up like this with all the billet aluminum and all the other stuff that goes along with it. As you can see, it's got the bow tie on it, and bus lights with glass lenses and the big horns, and I did finally put tall pipes on it for everybody. I know you're all going to make fun of my turbo mufflers that are on it, but for those of you that have ever driven a 3408 with straight pipes, they're pretty damn loud. And I've invested a lot of money into the stereo on this, and really didn't want to drown it out with straight pipes. So. And with that being said, as we were putting the truck back together, the entire cabin sleeper were completely gutted, and I mean completely. The dash was out of it, everything was out of it. And as we put it back together, we sound deadened every last square inch of it with hush mat, and then went back over the top of that with high density 1-inch black closed cell foam insulation.
Wow.
This truck, I hate to say this, standing here in the lot of the Peterbilt dealer, but this truck is quieter inside than that new one is sitting over there.
Nice.
So, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I love the sound of straight pipes. I like loud trucks too. But when you spend all day in it, I guess that's my age showing through there. So. You want to hear it, Keith? There just is no sound like that out there anywhere. We got kitty litter. One of the fun things about this motor is we've also turned this motor to 2,600 RPMs. You can do that with a V8. Don't ever run it up there. No reason to ever run it up there. It's just fun to have it.
Said you plan on repainting it, the original paint scheme?
Yeah, I'm still kicking that around. I like the Winslow paint, um, but I've also got a signature paint that I've had on kind of all of my trucks in the past, so I'm kind of wrestling with which direction to go there. And I probably won't make up my mind till it's sitting in the paint booth and we start putting tape on it. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it'll be pretty spectacular once you get the new paint on.
Yeah,
Because we just don't take this anywhere to get painted.
that's kind of been the problem. I don't know where to take it anymore. My guy that has done all my work in the past retired, and I really don't know where to take it. Yeah. It's going to need a little body work on it. It's got some hail damage on top of the hood and some corrosion on some of the panels. And it's not going to be an easy one.
Well, what wheelbase is this?
Factory 277.
277.
That's factory from 1981. And those of you who have been trucking for a while know that 277 in 1981 was pretty damn long. We still had link walls back then. So it was a 4-axle tractor. It did have a left axle. Again, it was a heavy haul truck.
It's a beauty.
Go ahead and shut it off. So, it is a brake saver motor. This one does hold 12 gallons of fuel. They did change it over and put the dual 2 oil filters on it that are actually mounted right on the block instead of remotely.
Okay.
That is an equipment trick. That's what you would see like in a 637 scraper or something like that.
Okay.
They just fit. There's literally a 1/4 inch between the filter and the frame rail. Yeah. It's been real fun to drive. This one's a keeper.
Yeah, I notice it immediately and see it around. See you hauling, and it's like, oh, there's Doug.
Yeah. Like I said, it's my daily driver, and it does work daily, and it is winter time here in Colorado, so we've kind of been slacking a little bit on the polish and stuff. We'll get it cleaned back up again in the spring.
Well, there you have it. I just wanted to get it straight from the horse's mouth as far as what it is, and kind of a nice follow-up video. And I'm sure we'll do another one once it's repainted. It'll be pretty spectacular to take a look at it then. So we appreciate everybody watching, and thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Keith.
And everybody, till next time, thank you.